The reverse KOM at Innsbruck was a setting for an inconvenient truth. It would appear that my kmh on the ascent in the real world is inferior to my speed in the virtual. And it wasn't down to my Zwift trainer difficulty or weight settings. However, it's prudent to double verify. You asked Tony Blair, so I felt duty-bound to do things diligently, all in the name of science. And as a result, Bike Racing Without Mercy popped back across the channel for 24 hours in search of verification and enlightenment. So this time, I converted Alp D'Huez and its pixelated little brother, Alp Zwift, into the world's most spectacular laboratory. A veritable llama lab on steroids, if you will, albeit minus the arsenal of gadgets and data, and of course, overseen by your host, Phil Lovett.
I'm about 1.25 miles into a walk down a dual carriageway.
A 45-year-old father of two who can't yet change a tyre, let alone operate a Garmin linked to a Strava account. This is science without mercy.
Just commencing an ascent of the Alp D'Huez. This is a training ride because I intend to ride the Alp for real in about a week's time, week and a half's time or so. Objective today is just to get up the Alp in a decent time, around about threshold. Just trying to find my rhythm, which is certainly below 300 watts. Trying to stay seated as much as possible as well, because I think that's the most efficient way to ride. And I am, as always, on 100% training difficulty. So the gradients are steepest at the very beginning. So it is worth investing a little bit more in some of the steep gradients, but not so much that I'm burnt out for the rest of it. Put it this way, I'm not going to be doing any 40-20s. I doubt I'll be able to stay seated throughout the time on the gradients of 10% plus. And I think in real life, in all honesty, I would be stood by the time we hit 10%. Stood for a lot of it anyway. That's the first corner completed. And the average of 290 is probably a little bit high in all honesty. Is a little bit high in all honesty. Feeling good. The gradient's slacking off a little bit. I'm on corner 15, or coming towards it, some way away. Trying to hit rhythm again. Trying to keep really in the 260 to 280 range. I'm using getting out of the saddle to slow my cadence rather than changing up a gear. There we go, on to 14. Long way to go. So far, I stuck to the plan, averaging just over really 270. Legs are hurting now though. I'm on the 8th corner. 13%. That's 9. It's 10%. Right at the limit of where I can sit. A bit of a mess now. Power's coming off a bit. On to corner 7. Struggling. Coming up to the final turn, sort of straight in. Too early. Oh. .48, 38. Well, overall I reckon that 48 minutes and 38 seconds is going to represent a very challenging benchmark for me to compare a real world climb of Alp D'Huez versus Alp Zwift. And overall I'm very happy actually with the time, but also with the power averages through the climb. There was only 4 sectors where I fell below 260 watts, whereas in a 250 watt range, and that was sector 7, 6, 5 and 2. On all the other sectors I was really in a 260 to 280 range, with one sector at 290. So I guess that my average would be around about 270, 275 watts, somewhere between 4 and 4.1 watts per kilogram. And I completed that ride 100% fasted. I just had a lot of water and some caffeine. So in turn, that's going to have turned on the hormones of cortisol and adrenaline, and that in turn helps convert body fat into energy to help fuel the ride. Making life unnecessarily difficult for yourself, volume 2. Now, I've never stayed in an airport hotel, and so I just kind of assumed it'd be very close to the actual airport. And so when I got a little email saying, you know, would you like a taxi to the airport, I didn't bother arranging for one. And when I left the airport, I confidently strode out, aiming for the hotel. There. I'm about 1¼ miles into a walk down a dual carriageway, although now I found the sanctuary of a bike lane, happily. And yeah, as ever, making life unnecessarily difficult. Still trudging along. A new cycleway though. And now for the next trial, to actually find the entrance to the place. I'm just gradually orbiting it in ever decreasing circles, hoping at some point a hotel lobby will manifest itself. Bingo. Holiday Inn Express, Geneva. Well, all things considered, for a trip that I arranged in its entirety myself, that did go reasonably smoothly. So of course the reason I'm here in Geneva is to provide a very quick base tonight for me to get a cab first thing tomorrow morning around about 6:30 to take me to the top of Alp D'Huez, where I'm hiring a bike and I'm going to take on the climb itself and compare my virtual time with my real world time. So let's see how smoothly the transition goes tomorrow. We're about 30 minutes away from the top of Alp D'Huez where the adventure starts. So after about a 3-hour drive, we're now about 15 minutes away from the top of Alp D'Huez, where I'm hiring a bike from Cycle D'Huez. We like you, don't we? Indy. Yes. Look at this beast. Beautiful, will you? And I've gone and spec'd the carbon wheels as well to make things a little lighter and hopefully a tad easier. The level of excitement is high, but I'm also very, very nervous. Cycle D'Huez is at the very top of Alp D'Huez, so I'm now going to have to go back down the mountain in order to commence the ascent. So that chalet there marks the beginning of the KOM for Alp D'Huez. The descent was freezing cold, but very, very beautiful indeed. I'm super glad that I had a long sleeve jersey with me. I'm going to have a little warm up before I hit the climb, and I'm going to compare my time with that on Zwift, on Alp D'Huez. But I should also add that with the GoPro here, battery length is going to be an issue, and there is a risk that my actual climbing time up the Alp is going to be longer than the battery will last for. So TBA.